Hello everybody, and welcome to a little update on Microsoft's Activision Blizzard acquisition. We are waiting on the UK at this point. Isn't it been approved everywhere? By everywhere, I mean Turkey, South Africa, South Korea, China, the entire European Union, Ukraine, Japan, Chile, Brazil, Saudi Arabia, and Serbia. At this point, we're just waiting on the UK. I think technically Canada didn't approve it, but they let the time lapse where Microsoft couldn't close the deal. So they can't close the deal despite no official ruling in Canada. Also, I don't think there's any word yet on Australia or New Zealand. It sounds like they're waiting on the UK to make their final decision. But yeah, and also Microsoft won its case against the FTC in the US, which basically FTC was trying to block a deal. So while it technically hasn't been approved in the US, it kind of is at this point. It hasn't, officially approved. But FTC trying to block it. Since they lost that case, that's pretty much it. It's just waiting on the UK at this point. And then Microsoft and the UK regulator, the CMA, CMA blocked it. Microsoft was trying to appeal it, but now since Microsoft won its case against the FTC in the US, CMA is pretty much seeing the writing on the wall at this point. And they basically, Microsoft and CMA, hey, they went to the CAT, the CAT, forget exactly what it stands for, but basically saying, all right, let's end the appeal. We're going to try to work out a new deal. And the judge agreed, okay, fine. You guys try to work out a new deal, which the CMA in the UK regulator has until the end of August to work out an official final deal with Microsoft. So hopefully the next few weeks, we will have a official, okay, it's approved in the UK, and Microsoft will close the deal within the next few days, and that'll be it. It will be done. But I think it's been a little bit since we've had an update, a few weeks at this point. But yeah, Microsoft has now submitted its change of circumstances to the UK regulator, the Competition and Markets Authority, arguing as to why the CMA should reverse its decision to block its Activision Blizzard acquisition and ultimately approve the deal. Microsoft is arguing the CMA should consider its new agreement with Sony to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation consoles, which again was not announced when the CMA originally made its final decision, which is no longer its final decision, back in April, as well as cloud gaming deals, which it has new cloud gaming deals in place since the decision by the CMA, and obviously, and the EU is now monitoring, to make sure Microsoft upholds its end of the deals. Yeah, excuse me, it's Monday, okay? It happens. It's Monday, I didn't sleep well. You know how Mondays are, guys. Anyways, but yeah, Microsoft also argues the latest evidence from the FTC case, which undermines the final report's conclusions. So yeah, here are some stuff from Microsoft themselves. Direct quote from their submission to the CMA here. So yeah, Microsoft entered into cloud gaming licenses agreement with NVIDIA, Boosteroid, and Ubitus. I'm not sure I pronounced that one. It's fine. Providing cloud gaming services, argues Microsoft. Since the final report, Microsoft has also entered into a fourth agreement with Cloudware SL, which provides the cloud gaming service Anywhere. In the final report, the CMA stated that the agreements Microsoft had entered into did not affect its view on the likely theory of harm because it had no assurance that Microsoft would not simply break, terminate, or renegotiate the agreements, which now, however, they've worked out a deal with the European Commission and the European Union. They'll be monitoring, making sure Microsoft does not break any of its deals. So yeah, Microsoft adds second on July 15th, 2023. Sony entered into an extended agreement for the provisions of Call of Duty, the principal Activision game, which Sony is and has been concerned about. The entry into this agreement is a material change of circumstance and or special reason for reaching a different decision, both in its own right and in combination with the commitments referred to above. The Sony agreement ensures that perhaps the most powerful player in the video games industry will have access in the long term into the Activision game it considers most important. Microsoft on the FTC case specifically said the new material emerging from the U.S. Is further supported by new data analysis, which has only been possible following the disclosure process into the tribunal proceedings in the UK. The analysis provides new information which undermines key findings in the final report and is thus also relevant to the CMA's consideration of the appropriate final order. The CMA extended its deadline from July 18th to August 29th, and they are working with Microsoft on a new potential deal. Microsoft is probably going to offer some remedies, and it was reported earlier this month Microsoft and Activision Blizzard are considering giving up some control over cloud gaming in the UK to appease the CMA. It's reported that Microsoft might be willing to sell its cloud gaming rights in the UK to a telecommunications, gaming, or internet-based computing company. One person said a private company might be interested. So yeah, basically that's it. We're waiting on the UK. Again, once we get a final decision, I'll definitely get a video up for everyone here. So again, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to get notified when this news breaks, potentially, of this deal being approved in the UK, then the deal finally closing. And I said we can finally stop talking about this deal, but I feel like this is be a deal we're should be talking about for a long time, because what is Microsoft's exact plans? What is coming to Game Pass? When are games coming to Game Pass? And speaking of Game Pass, the European Commission supposedly, in a recently published public version of its report on Microsoft's Activision Blizzard deal, basically said they think it's likely Activision Blizzard games will only be available on Game Pass Ultimate and not the lower tiers. So yeah, just quickly here, the Commission reiterates that post-transaction Activision Blizzard's games will likely be included in Game Pass Ultimate only. Now, this is not confirmed, this is not definite, this is just the European Commission thinking it's likely that Activision Blizzard games will only be available on Game Pass Ultimate. As opposed to, and to the exclusion of, all the providers of cloud game streaming, enhancing the importance of Game Pass Ultimate significantly. Also, vis-a-vis non-Windows OS, Microsoft has been the first company to heavily invest in cloud gaming as part of its gamer-centric and device-agnostic vision and business models. The launch and growth of Game Pass, including its top-tier Game Pass Ultimate that offers a cloud game streaming functionality, is a building block of such commercial strategy, with Game Pass Ultimate, which accounts for nearly 70-80% of the current redacted million Game Pass subscribers. The last update we had was 25 million January 2022, which is likely higher at this point. And Microsoft may have a redacted. I love that, redacted. My favorite. Instead of getting actual information, it's just redacted. Anyways. And sadly, it wasn't crossed out with a Sharpie, which means you can still read it. If anyone remembers that fiasco. Which Microsoft discussed in its internal documents. Through the direct acquisition of Activision Blizzard's games, which follows the acquisition of ZeniMax's games, Microsoft is securing very popular content such as Call of Duty for the Game Pass library, including Game Pass Ultimate's cloud game streaming future, with the aim of boosting its growth. And again, it's been approved pretty much everywhere but the UK at this point. And also, if you're not aware, Microsoft did recently increase the price of Game Pass. The standard Game Pass went from $10 a month to $11 a month, and Game Pass Ultimate went from $15 to $17 a month. Although Game Pass for PC is still $10 a month. And they also rebranding Xbox Live Gold to Xbox Game Pass Core on September 14th. Which, if you did miss that, I guess I can cover this really quickly. Game Pass is basically the same thing as Xbox Live Gold, except you don't get the 2 free games every month that's been available. You will instead get a catalog of over 25 high-quality games on console. It does also include online console multiplayer. While the standard Game Pass for console or PC does not include online multiplayer, though I guess on PC it doesn't really matter. You don't need to pay in order to play games online, unless you're talking about like World of Warcraft or some other MMOs. On Xbox it does require at least Core or Ultimate. Ultimate does include all of these special benefits, hundreds of high-quality games on console, PC, and cloud, and new games on day one. Member deals, discounts, and perks, online console multiplayer, and EA Play membership. So if you want access to the hundreds of games on Game Pass, as well as playing online on your Xbox console, you gotta get Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Edition, which also includes EA Play membership. And of the 25 games, we've gotten some confirmed games here. Nothing that's completely brand new. Among Us, Descenders, Dishonored 2, Doom Eternal, Fable Anniversary, remaster of the original Fable game, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Forza Horizon 4, not the newer Forza Horizon, 4 instead of 5, Gears 5, which is probably one of the newest games on this list, because that is from 2019, Grounded, Halo 5, Halo Wars 2, Hellblade, Human Fall Flat, Inside, or In the Will of the Wisps, Psychonauts 2, actually think about it, Psychonauts 2 might be the newest game on this list, thinking about it, State of Decay 2, and Elder Scrolls Online, Tamriel Unlimited, and Core is said to be getting new. They'll be getting new games added to Game Pass Core every two or three times a year, I think is what Microsoft said. So expect the list of games on Game Pass Core to be growing over time, but be nowhere near as what we see on console, the other Game Pass tiers, and I wouldn't expect to see any games day one on Core. Maybe older titles. As a little bit of benefits. Also, I would expect that also means, also with Starfield, a big increase in the number of Game Pass subscribers. Because everyone who's Xbox Live Gold but is not subscribed to Game Pass will become a Game Pass subscriber. So, we'll see. Maybe we'll get an actual update in Microsoft's next earnings report for the current quarter that ends in September 30th. And again, also Starfield will probably see somewhat of a boost in Game Pass subscribers as well. But yeah, I just wanted to give a quick update on Microsoft's Activision Blizzard acquisition. Again, if you enjoy this, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time for some more gaming news, gaming, sales, and other gaming industry information.